What's going on, guys? My name is Trevor. Welcome back to the channel. Oppenheimer, Barbie, Super Mario Bros, you name it. So many movies have made a buku amount of bucks at the box office this year, with 2 movies joining the billion-dollar club, and Oppenheimer might be the 3rd one in 2023 to join that exclusive club. And today we're ranking the top 10 highest grossing movies of 2023 so far. Here is all 10 movies we're including on this list. We have movies like Super Mario Bros, Barbie, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, Oppenheimer, Fast X, Across the Spider-Verse, The Little Mermaid, Mission Impossible 7, AntMan 3, and Elemental. You got some animated movies in there, you got some comic book movies in there, of course, but you have a 3-hour-long biopic in there in Oppenheimer. We're gonna rank them from my least favorite to my favorite. Before we give you guys my ranking, let me know your ranking down below in the comment section. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell so you don't miss out on any future content. And let's get into this. So at number 10 is Fast X. I'm a diehard fan of the Fast and Furious franchise. Every time the movies come out, I get overexcited for them. This one, safe to say, I think might be the worst of the bunch. There's elements in there that work, like Jason Momoa's character he's just done well. He's a very flamboyant, rambunctious, fun villain in the movies, and I would say one of the better villains inside the Fast and Furious franchise. But just the way this movie ends, like, it wasn't a cliffhanger. It ended probably with like 15 minutes left in the movie. It just cut to black, and I was kind of appalled by that, and every time I think about it, that's what I think about. It might be my least favorite, this or Fast 9. There has not been a really good hot streak for Fast and Furious as of late, so Fast X, honestly, it's one of my least favorite movies of the year, and it's at number 10. At number 9, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. The more I think about this movie, the more I just don't really remember about this movie. I came out of this film like, that was fine. It wasn't anything spectacular or great. I thought they were going to give us a lot more with Kang, making Kang one of the best, most crazy villains inside the MCU. I didn't really get that vibe, but the fact that Ant-Man has a trilogy inside the MCU to me is just kind of bizarre, because he's always been a very good side character, side hero in my opinion. I love Scott Lang. He's a very good side hero, but for him to get his own trilogy, it's kind of crazy. This one didn't do crazy numbers at the box office like most Marvel movies do. I think it was under 500 million in total, but this year it still made the top 10 list. Kang was underwhelming, but Scott Lang and his family, they have fun in this movie, and you really go to see just Paul Rudd being Scott Lang, a good family vibe. And the ending, the 3rd act, honestly, it was pretty cool. At number 8, The Little Mermaid. From this point forward, I gave a very positive score for all of these movies. A lot of these are in my top 10 of the year, and at number 8 is The Little Mermaid, and that does seem low, but nonetheless, this is a very good live-action remake, and I would say one of the better live-action remakes as of late. I love the original Little Mermaid. It's one of my favorite Disney animated movies of all time. So coming into this one, I had high hopes for it. Lin-Manuel Miranda was attached to this project. He was doing some music in there, and the songs they added, some worked, some didn't. I love Wild Uncharted Waters that Prince Eric sings. I mean, it just hit me in the feels. I wasn't expecting it, but I was sitting there like, dang, this guy, it's just awesome. My wife and I saw this movie on our honeymoon. We were in Disney World in Florida, so just kind of a little fond memory there. It was pouring rain in Florida. We said, let's go see this movie. So it was a honeymoon movie. We had a great time, and I loved Awkwafina as Scuttle. Daveed Diggs as Sebastian was absolutely great, and Halle Bailey as Ariel, absolutely perfect, and Melissa McCarthy as Ursula. I mean, she carried. She really did. At number 7, the highest grossing movie of the year so far, Barbie. I really enjoyed this one. I had a good, fun time. It was funny. I liked the set design. I liked the production design. I love how devoted everyone is to the roles in this movie, from Margot Robbie, who absolutely crushes it as Barbie, to Ryan Gosling, who absolutely kills it as Ken. I would love to see him in that Oscar nomination race. To Simu Liu, who has such a minor role, but whenever he's on screen, he just plays that jerky Ken very well. To Greta Gerwig becoming one of my favorite directors. Everything about this movie, everyone is so committed, everyone dives in, and they really create the world of Barbie, and they bring it to the screen the way it should have been brought to the screen. This is my wife's favorite movie of the year. I had a great time with it. It was fun, a good summer vibe. I haven't gone back to rewatch it, but definitely one I'll be buying on Blu-ray. At number 6, the Super Mario Bros. Movie, the 2nd billion-dollar movie of 2023, the first one to actually hit the billion-dollar mark of the year. I really enjoyed this one. I think it's been a fantastic year for animation, and the Super Mario Bros. Was one of my most anticipated movies of the entire year because of how much nostalgia I have for these characters and how much nostalgia I have for the video game. I still play the Mario Brothers game on the Nintendo Switch. I had it for DS. I always played Mario Kart. They gave us Mario fans everything and more you could have wanted in a movie like this. Everything was put on the screen. That might work to its disadvantage at times, but this one really focuses on Mario, as most of these games really really do. This is Mario's movie. He's there to save Princess Peach, and Jack Black as Bowser. Peaches, 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 I love you. I will never not sing that song. Just full tilt, full Bowser voice. Gotta go for it. I love the Mario Brothers movie. At number 5, Mission Impossible Part 1: Dead Reckoning. I don't know what it was this time around, but this movie did very low numbers for what I was expecting it to do. I was expecting this movie to damn near join the $1 billion club, and when it's stunting out like mid-100 millions, I was kind of surprised by that. I enjoyed this one. I had a lot of fun with this one. It's all of the characters back on the screen, and the stakes are an all-time freaking high. What happened? Was the marketing not good? Were people just tired of seeing sequels? I'm just a little bit confused as to why this movie didn't do better than it did. I actually think this movie lost a little bit of money with how big the budget and marketing budget really was. But all of that aside, this was one of the most underseen blockbusters of the entire year. Tom Cruise rides a motorcycle off a freaking cliff. Why aren't people going to see that? I thought Tom Cruise was going to have the effect in this year just like he did in 2022. He didn't, which is beyond me. I think certain parts about this movie work really well. I think the runtime was definitely too long. That was my biggest gripe with the movie, and the villain was a little bit lackluster. Nonetheless, it's set up for an ultimate finale of the Mission Impossible franchise and Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 2. I don't know what happened. I don't know why I know I'm going to go see it, but I'm still excited for Part 2. I really enjoyed Part 1. At number 4, Pixar's Elemental. This right here is the most underrated movie of 2023. I would say the most underappreciated movie of 2023. I think when everyone goes to see a Pixar movie nowadays, they're like, this is going to be, and it needs to be, the best Pixar movie of all freaking time. That's not going to happen. We're in a different era of Pixar. You're not going to get The Incredibles, Finding Nemo, Monsters, Inc., Ratatouille, any of the Toy Story movies. We're not going to get classics like that again. And why would you want to? Why wouldn't you want them to go a little bit different route? And this time they did with Elemental, and they gave us really the first romantic comedy inside the Pixar franchise. I'm here for it. Fire and water, opposites attract, and that's what this movie hits on. People from two completely different worlds should not be together, but they find their way together. It hits you right in the feels. It is so sweet. I was laughing my butt off, and this to me was Pixar at its finest. This is a top tier Pixar movie. I don't know where all the hate came from it, but it really had legs. It was not doing very good numbers in the beginning of its box office run, but slowly started making money and slowly started to become profitable. Pixar and Disney, they did not market this movie whatsoever, like a lot of their movies this year, and it still ended up doing over about 500 million total, which is awesome. I see it as a huge win. At number 3, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. This is arguably the most emotional movie inside the entirety of the MCU, but it is Rocket's story. They focus on him. He is truly the main character, as James Gunn said he always has been throughout the Guardians movies. This one hits you right in the feels. I tried to rewatch it on Disney Plus, and I had to turn it off just because of how sad I was in the beginning. That first half of this movie is morbidly sad. We need to get all the backstory on Rocket and everything he had to go through. But by the end of this movie, the dog days are over. No Sleep Till Brooklyn has some of the best action we've ever seen in the MCU, and when that Dog Days Are Over song starts playing, it really just wraps this up nicely. I'm literally getting chills just thinking about it. It turns from being one of the saddest, most hard to watch movies ever in the MCU to one of the most happy-go-lucky, heartfelt movies inside the MCU. They balance it so well. There's a little line, and James Gunn and the Guardians were just tiptoeing that line, leaning on each side. It's absolutely fantastic. One of the best comic book movies of the decade, one of the best comic book movies of the year. At number 2, speaking of the best comic movie of the year, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse is one of those movies I've had a chance to see 2 times in theaters, and it's coming to Blu-ray very soon, and this one I will be definitely buying. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse was a perfect sequel. It gave us everything and more you could have wanted in a Spider-Verse sequel. Miles Morales is my favorite version of Spider-Man. This time he is a lot more button heads with his parents, and it's a little bit slower, and that's okay, I feel. I feel Into the Spider-Verse was so fast-paced that Across the Spider-Verse can afford to be a little bit slower paced, really focused and really afford to be on this more of a family drama story. And Miles and Gwen Stacy, they split the screen time here, and the way you get all these Spider-Man on screen is absolutely awesome. Across the Spider-Verse, one I'll be rewatching for years to come, and I cannot wait for Beyond the Spider-Verse. But at number 1 is Oppenheimer. This is my favorite movie of the year, and I am so glad this movie's nearing that $1 billion mark. For all the celebrities out there saying people are just talking, no duh. Like, are we... What, is that not comprehensible here? It is a 3-hour long historic biopic. You want him riding horses, sword fighting? I don't understand what people were expecting with this one. You are going in this movie expecting a dialogue-heavy, historic, 3-hour long, crazy biopic. I have never been more invested in a movie this year. I was literally on the edge of my seat, in awe of this acting, this dialogue, the way Christopher Nolan, my favorite director of all time, just crafted this amazing story that is so dark, it is so twisted. Christopher Nolan literally said, "Hold my beer," to everyone. This is all the tricks I got. Enjoy. And you did. I loved it. I want to go see this one again in theaters, but when I did see it, it was on 70mm in IMAX. It was like one of 7 theaters in the country at that time that was playing it on 70mm. It was absolutely beautiful. It was perfect. Give it all the awards come Oscar season. I think this one's going to steal the show. Let me know your ranking of the 10 highest grossing movies of 2023 down below in the comment section. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell. Thank you guys so much for watching and for being here. I'll see you in the next one.